and welcome back to the channel, guys. True Fight Gaming. Let's get back into it, guys. Another episode of Final Fantasy VII Remake. This episode I'm going to go over some tips and tricks for the Sector 5 slums. Some side quests that some people might not see, or if you're trying to get some trophies, like the quest trophy where you try and do all the quests. I'm going to go over some small tips and tricks for this kind of area. Let's get right into it, guys.
That's what's called easy money.
Got any spare machine work kidding around? Shinra weapons are on the rampage. 5 of them, like floating eyeballs. I saw them wander off into the scrap, but if they come back into town, it'd be a disaster. We need someone who's willing and able to fight.
So, do you think this means another...
I'll handle it.
You will? Oh man, you're the best! I could hear them shouting intruder detected or some other nonsense when they floated off. Be careful, they look dangerous.
Sure hope not.
Right, guys, so just after you do the first quest, which is not optional, you pretty much have to do it with the storyline with Aerith. So it's the first kind of mission you get when you come in. You have to help the kids out and save the 2 kids. I have that in my last episode. If you're going to take a look at that, that is one of the quests. This is the second one. If you follow along the way I do them, there's a lot of quests that don't come up unless you do one of the main ones, which is going to come up just after this one. If you go ahead and take a look at this guide, make sure you watch the video to the end, guys. If you're new to the channel, hit that red subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, because I'm going to have videos like this every single day in quarantine. As long as I have time to make them, I'm going to try and do my best to help you guys out. So make sure you smash the like as much as possible so people can see these videos. It really just helped me a lot. Leave a comment down below. I always like to know what you guys are up to and if you managed to do this. So what we got to do is we got to follow some ghosts along the way. We get to here, and as you can see, he has gone along that way. So what you need to do is follow the path. Keep watching this video until the end so that you can see exactly each quest as I go along it. It will make a lot of sense. We will be coming back to this door later. This is a very important door. We'll be able to get that material later on shortly, guys, folks. Let's just keep it going, guys. Let's go.
Try to stay behind me.
That way I can cover your back.
It's over.
Hey!
Not bad.
So if you follow the path, keep going till the end of this path, you'll see these ghosty things that are just here. They're kind of like an orb. They run around and they can burrow into the ground. They are weak to wind. If you picked it up from Chadley in the last episode, go take a look at my last episode, guys, because I do go into detail about Chadley and his materia and how it's really important to use the access materia. What you want on this is, before fighting this enemy, you want the access material. You want to use it against these guys. You get a couple of chances, but use it against as many as you can. This will help you with the VR training. I do go over that in detail in the last couple of episodes, and I have got a video out on how to get the Shiva summoning material. It is a little bit difficult if you're not prepared for it, guys. So if you are struggling, take a look at my guides. They are really helpful. Definitely take a look at that. Anyway, keep it moving, guys. Let's carry on. After you defeat those guys, it should be not that hard if you use wind magic. You can get it off Chadley there. So let's just keep it going. We need to go around this area, and what you need to do is you need to keep going round, and we have to go upwards and follow the path upwards until we can get to where we need to go. So we've got a few enemies in the way, so let's take care of those first, and once we've taken care of them, we can carry it on and we can find the next couple of enemies for this quest there, guys.
Focus.
And once you get to this bit, there's going to be 3 enemies. One of them's going to be a little bit tougher, but just to let you know, you don't need wind exactly. Just wind will do a lot more for the stagger bar. What I was saying was wind is its weakness. When you take a look at it with the access material, you can use thunder, fire or blizzard against it. It will take its shield down, it just won't do as much for its stagger bar. Just to make that clear, guys, you can still use any magic. It doesn't really matter what you equipped, because if you take a look at my blade there, you can see that I'm using the ice elemental, and as you can see, they do burrow into the ground. What they do is they put a shield up. If you try and do some damage to them, they'll be immune to main damage until you take their shield down. And once you've done that, by using some magic, you can use the wind magic to put their stagger bar up as fast as possible, because that's going to help you defeat these enemies, because they're just going to keep hitting into you and using fire magic and things like that against you. Wind magic is going to be the best for you against these enemies. I can't stress that enough, that this is probably one of the most annoying battles that I've had in the whole game. Generally, because at this point you're not strong, you're not weak, but the enemies can do enough damage in bigger quantities, and because you're in this area and you've only got you and Aerith, you need to constantly heal each other, so it can be a little bit tough. So once you've done that and you've whittled them down, what I try and do is take one at a time. It's a bit easier if you do that, because then you can concentrate on one enemy at a time and just keep concentrating on healing yourself up and watch that MP bar, because at the beginning you can take a little bit of a hit there, guys.
Just go away!
Let's do this.
Stay strong and carry on. Go on.
So once you've done that for this guy, you should be able to hand it in, and actually what they do is they let you go straight back. You don't have to walk all the way. That is a bit of a hefty road, or a slippery slope as they say, guys. So once you've done that, you can talk to this guy and you can get on with the next quest.
I heard you got them all, right? Robots from the reactor getting lost in the slums. Must be because of the explosion up top, huh? They must have thought they were protecting the reactor and figured I was trespassing on their turf or something.
Maybe.
Almost feel sorry for them, getting all lost and confused like that. Oh, what am I saying? Man or machine? Shinra bitches get what they deserve.
Now hold on.
Anyway, I think it's safe to say our work here is finished. If you're ever in the market for a merc again, remember, you can count on Cloud.
Sure. And sorry about putting this on you all of a sudden. I'm really glad you were willing to help out, though. Thanks again. Actually, while you're here, I've got another favor to ask. There's this old guy who hangs out in front of the weapons shop. I think he might need your help. Would you mind talking to him?
What'll happen if the war breaks out?
Oh, I know you. You must be that mercenary. I have a problem. It's the anniversary of my wife's death, and I wanted to visit her grave. But I can't because some creatures have turned the graveyard into their nest. Could you do me a favor and go there in my stead? She shouldn't be alone today.
It'll cost you.
That's fine, that's fine. The graveyard's right by the head of the river. But I heard they put a new gate in recently to replace the old broken one. Now that those creatures have moved in, I'm sure it's locked up tight.
Didn't we buy a graveyard key off Moggy? I think we did.
So there we go, guys. There is another task that I am doing by talking to these kids. It is part of another quest. I'm going to try and put that in another episode, which is coming out today. If you want to take a look at that later, that's good for you. Basically, all we have to do is find several children in the area, and that will pretty much go on to another part of a quest, which will continue on to a quest after that. So once we've done that, we can go on to this old man, and once you've done his quest, you can continue on to another quest. I know it sounds a bit drab, but yeah, pretty much once you've done one, you can get another one. And here you go, there's another kid just here. It pretty much, they're all around the area, and they're not hard to miss. You just have to keep walking up and down and finding them. And once you got quite a few of the kids, it will say, and you can go back and talk to the woman. I will show you this more in detail.
Is she mad? Oh, I gotta go. I'm sorry.
Did I just say that out loud? Sure would love it. I like it.
Back to our gum or chocobo candy. Oh man, no, my.
Gramps has been feeling a lot better.
That avalanche doesn't scare me.
Want to help me out too? What do you say?
The emergency shelter for sectors 1, 5, and 8.
Nah, just show 'em. Aerith is such a take care of you.
Spices are so important.
Hey, sure hope not.
So once you've carried on and you find this door, you have to destroy some of these enemies. So before you go in, make sure you've got the ice magic equipped, the blizzard magic, on you and Aerith there. Once you've done that, make sure you use the access material straight away. And then what you want to do is focus on trying to destroy one of them. They will poison you, and they will try and put you asleep and try and use some status elements. They will spew out some cobwebs and things like that and poison, so beware. You can get a star pendant from the stores, so if you go and take a look at those, if it is a little bit difficult, you can get the star pendants and they will stop the poison. So that is a good start if you are struggling. The second is, again, make sure you come to the fight with Blizzard. The third thing I'm going to say is just make sure you heal up and you watch that MP bar, because it is going to be one of those things that is going to reoccur in the game, because it's not exactly like any other Final Fantasy game. It's a little bit different, it's a bit more realistic in the way. The next thing, the fourth thing I'm going to talk about is the enemy's attacks. It will attack you with its stinger and it will flick you off balance a lot, so be wary of that. Defending is quite hard against these enemies. There are 3 of them. They will also stop you or make you stop, or they will try and poison you and things like that. They will also try and jump on you. It's kind of like a glowing kind of red. It will kind of stop for a second and then it will jump up and hit you and do quite a lot of damage. So what you want to do is make sure you're wary of this, because when you're fighting it, it is a little bit tough fighting all 3 because they jump on you constantly. But I got it on my first try. It shouldn't be too hard.
Get him!
All good.
That's it!
Storm's coming.
Go on!
So as you can see, they're going to keep trying to poison you and things like that. They're going to try their hardest to do it. And once you've done that and you defeated it, this will happen.
You wanna say a prayer too?
And then you should be able to go back and talk to the old man and take on the next quest. So let's go ahead and go and do that. And then in my next episode, I will show you exactly where to find all the kids, and I'll show you exactly all the different other quests that you can do.
Really grateful for what you did.
And if you watched the video to the end, thank you again. I do appreciate everything that you guys do for me, and I'd love to know how you've done, if you've been doing really well, or if you are still struggling. I can try and help you with that. If not,
Such a relief.
I hope you managed to do this and this has helped you a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.
I was beginning to think I might never be able to visit her grave again. With my bad back and my legs, my whole body's a mess, frankly. I didn't think I could make it past the creatures. But I was prepared to die trying, and then you two came along. Still, I've got to face facts. Creatures or no, I can't keep making these trips.
Don't say that.
This is the graveyard key. Run it back to Moggy.
But I just told you about my legs.
Why don't you just give it back?
Okay. It'll cost you 5,000 gil, though.
5,000?
It's always money with you people. Fine. I won't ask you for anything else. I'll take your damned key and give it to the boy. It's downright depressing. What is the world coming to these days?